All right, let's get right into it. Have you ever looked around and wondered why some people seem to build wealth almost effortlessly while the rest of us feel like we're just spinning our wheels? Well, I'm going to let you in on a secret. It's not magic, and it's definitely not luck. It's all about understanding a set of unspoken rules. I mean, seriously, does it ever feel like you're playing a game but you never got the rule book? Like you're always one step behind no matter how hard you work? Well, that feeling, that ends today. Because we are going to reveal those hidden rules. We're pulling back the curtain on how wealth is really built. So before we even talk about building wealth, we have to talk about what's secretly destroying it. See, it's not always about how much you earn. It's about the money that just seems to vanish before you even get a chance to use it. These are the silent wealth killers. Okay, look at this list. These things seem totally normal, right? But this is where your wealth is secretly draining away. You know that new car smell? That's the smell of thousands of dollars evaporating the second you drive it off the lot. And that daily coffee and lunch habit? That's easily over $6,000 a year just walking out the door. We're talking enough to max out an IRA. Fast fashion? It's just a treadmill of replacing stuff that doesn't last. And every unused room in a big house is a constant drain on your wallet. These aren't huge mistakes. They're the tiny, silent leaks that sink your financial ship over time. And then you've got the biggest silent killer of them all, inflation. This is the hidden enemy that makes the cash just sitting in your bank worth less every single day. Seriously, think of it like a bucket with a slow, invisible leak. Your bank statement might say the number is the same, but what that money can actually buy is constantly going down. So that's the problem. But what's the solution, right? Well, it's not some magic bullet. It's a fundamental shift in your thinking. It's about changing your entire perspective from being a consumer to becoming an owner. This right here is the core of the wealthy mindset. It's a total game changer. Okay, this is probably the single most important concept in all of finance. You've got assets and you've got liabilities. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. It is literally that simple. The wealthy, they focus all their energy on collecting assets, things that grow, things that pay them, things that generate more money. Meanwhile, most people are busy collecting liabilities, the car payment, the designer clothes, the new TV. So you have to ask yourself, which one of these columns are you building? Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's legendary partner, he hit the nail on the head. He said the first $100,000 is the hardest, but you've got to do it. So why is that first 100 grand so important? Because getting there is like packing a snowball at the top of a very tall hill. It's all you, all your muscle, all your effort. But once you hit that critical size, that snowball starts rolling all by itself. It picks up speed, it gets bigger and bigger, and you're not even pushing it anymore. That is the power of compounding. So how do you build that snowball? How do we actually put this mindset into action? Well, it all boils down to a simple but incredibly powerful blueprint. I call it the 3-step wealth engine. And here it is. It's pretty straightforward. Step 1 is defense. You stop the bleeding. You plug those leaks and stop losing money for no reason. Step 2 is offense. You take that money and acquire assets that work for you. And step 3 is the snowball. You let compounding and leverage do all the heavy lifting, creating that amazing growth. Let's break each one down real quick. Okay, first up, plugging the leaks. This is your defense. You've got to start treating your money like a team of tiny workers. Right now, they might just be wandering off and disappearing on those silent expenses we talked about. Instead, you need to give every single dollar a specific job. This isn't about being cheap, okay? It's about being intentional. It's about freeing up your workers so you can put them on offense. And this is where the game really changes. This is offense. With the cash you've freed up, you start buying assets. What kind? Well, think broad market index funds. That gives you a piece of the entire economy. You can own small slices of big buildings through things called REITs, or buy stocks that literally pay you cash just for owning them. But maybe the most powerful asset of all is you. Every book you read, every course you take, that's an investment that can pay you back way more than the stock market ever could. Which brings us to the magic. Step 3. You let your asset army grow on its own. This is that snowball effect we talked about. Your investments start making their own money, and that money gets reinvested and starts making even more money. It's a beautiful thing. The whole operation starts rolling downhill, getting bigger and faster, and you're not having to push it anymore. This is how real, sustainable wealth is actually built. Okay, we've covered the mindset, we've covered the strategy, but you know what? Knowledge without action is just entertainment. So let's turn this from something you're just watching
into something you're actually doing, like right now, today.
Here's your 3-step starter plan. It's super simple, it's not intimidating, and you can do it right after this. First, automate a small, consistent investment, even just $20 a week into an index fund. Set it and forget it. Second, pick just one of those silent expenses and cut it for this week. Just one. And third, spend 15 minutes, just 15, learning about one of the assets that sounds interesting to you. Look, the goal isn't to get rich overnight. The goal is to build the habits that will make getting wealthy inevitable.
So I'll just leave you with this one last thought to chew on. Your money is always working. 100% of the time, it is working. There's no question about that. The only question is it working for you, building up your assets, or is it working against you, disappearing into liabilities? The choice is yours.